And we're live.
Good morning, sister friend.
Hello, Las Vegas.
Oh my goodness. I like that both of our voices are like an octave lower than they normally are.
I got out of bed, it was like 25 minutes ago, and I looked in the mirror in the bathroom as I was trying to put my contacts in, and my eyes were so puffy that I was like, oh, I don't actually know if I can shove little pieces of plastic in here.
Yeah, you're brave. I haven't done contacts yet for the day. Yeah, I woke up 6 minutes ago.
Oh, and I thought I was being punked. So I decided to come out to the shop to do this because letting people sleep inside. And I have my coffee maker out here. And like the last time I made coffee on whatever day it was, I just pulled the plug out. I was, like, I don't know. I was like, I'm not going to be here for a few days. I don't have to worry about hitting the off button. I'll just pull the whole thing out. And I go to plug it back in, and it's like, it won't plug into the outlet. And then it has the little, it's one of the outlets that has the little test and the little reset thing.
Yeah.
And after like trying so many different configurations to just shove it in there, I did like the test and then it let me plug it in, but it didn't, then it wouldn't turn on. And so then I tried two other outlets and still the coffee machine would not turn on. So now I have water and beans sitting in there, but no coffee came out.
Wow, that sucks. Context for our sister friends. Normally we record like at 7 p.m. after a long day's work. It's currently 7 a.m. And so this is a whole different vibe.
Rise and shine. And normally I am a morning person, but today's
I
different.
am too. I classify myself as a morning person. I went to bed last night, I'm not kidding, at 7 p.m. And so I should be like wide awake and ready to do this. But it is my Saturday. It's also your Saturday. It's everybody's Saturday. It's Saturday outside.
It's the world's Saturday.
And normally I would sleep in. But
Saturday outside.
But you're in the presence of two very busy bees.
Oh my goodness. I am, the way in which Tanner was so disappointed. So I got home from Louisville at, 3 p.m. And he's like, what do you want to do this evening? And I was like, I have to be at school in 10 minutes. What are you talking about?
I know. I called Dad.
Yeah.
Dad's like, when did you guys record this week? And I was like, well, we haven't. And he was like, you have no time to record. Zoe has to go to the school.
Yeah,
I should have.
Yeah, I should have brought my equipment. We could have recorded at 3 a.m. last night or something.
But speaking of, how was Louisville? This is the moment I knew you were famous. You had like a step and repeat backdrop, and it had the Kent Family Farm logo on it, and that's like crazy to me.
Yeah. I did this deal with Geringhoff where I ran one of their headers this fall, and part of that deal, it was like, hey, you're gonna run the header, you're gonna give your honest feedback on it, and then assuming you like it, we'll do a meet and greet at one of the farm shows, and so people, it kind of is drawing people to their booth with me being there, and then I can speak to their corn heads in person and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it felt very bizarre. I like signed autographs that they like handed out to people after they met in a gret, and I'm just like, who am I?
I know, because I saw Geringhoff posting like, stop by the booth to get an autograph. I'm like, of sister friend? You want an autograph?
Yeah,
I
know.
Zoe?
Well, and
I can send you one better. I can send you embarrassing pictures from 3rd grade.
Right? Well, and my thing is like, I don't think people like want autographs anymore. Like that's not really like a thing. Like back in the day, it was like you got autograph books and like it was a big thing. But now people just want pictures. Yeah. So like the big thing was just like to take a picture. And then honestly, most people, they're like, at the end they'd be like, here's an autograph card, and everyone was like, oh, thanks.
Thanks. Well, that's exciting.
I don't know.
So how was the farm machinery show? I saw you went to a tractor pull. That's something I haven't done in 10 years.
I know that's what I was saying. I was like, technically I've been to one before, but that was like in high school, and it was like at the fair,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But yeah, no, it was, I wish I could have been there for a few more days. But like, honestly, I don't know if my body could have handled any more time at all. But yeah, I went down on Wednesday and I met up with some hashtag farm talk friends. Some people they wanted to get dinner at Hooters. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't want to participate in that, but I've already met up with you guys to go get dinner. And then thank the Lord, we go to Hooters and they're like, yeah, it's Valentine's Day, 45-minute wait. You know, everyone wants a table at Hooters for Valentine's Day. And then right next to Hooters was a very standard, very, very classic Mexican restaurant. And I was like, hey, I'll just go see if we can get in there. And I walk in, I was like, hey, table for 14. And they're like, yeah, just a second.
Delicious.
Shoved some tables together. We were eating chips within minutes. I was like,
that's what New York doesn't have. Just like a classic Mexican restaurant with like big red cups and like, I don't know, huge dishes. And I miss that about the Midwest.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, so I had that. And then, so I was supposed to get in to the farm show that day, but I got down there a little too late. So I went the next morning. And so I was like, okay, my goal is to get everything that I need to get done today so that I don't have to come back in the morning, because I knew I was going out to the
tractor pull
nightlife. Yeah. Well, and the tractor pull doesn't get over till 11. So it was like, even with that, I'm trying, because I needed to also leave town by 11.
Is
so
Louisville
I was like,
nightlife like sick?
Well, okay, there's a Howl at the Moon, and that's where it's like the dueling piano bar.
That sounds like a middle school dance theme.
Oh, no. It's like actually very, very fun. And then there's a bar that everyone goes to called PBR. The girls there wear assless chaps, and like they have a bowl that people ride, but then like they'll have the girls get up on it, and it's like it just jiggles their butts, and it's like it's definitely very catered to the male gaze.
Okay.
But that's the only place people go that I'm aware of. I mean, the younger crowd. That's the only place the younger crowd goes. And I'm probably at like max capacity on age for that. Mm-hmm. But I saw my friend's parents in there too. So I don't know. Pretty
So
crazy.
did Dad sit this year out?
Yeah, he actually hasn't gone in 6 years. And so, okay, so when I was... Yeah,
I guess I kind of knew the last couple, but I didn't realize 6. That's some time.
Yeah. But so at this meet and greet I did, I'm not kidding you, 98% of the questions were like, hey, where's Mickey at?
That's what I was expecting, because when I saw it was just you, I was like, I bet there's disappointed followers.
Oh, everyone was disappointed.
Wanted a little farm with Mickey.
A little farm with Mickey for that.
That's who should have been handing out autographs. Farm with Mickey. You should have brought those from home.
1,000%. But yeah, so it is the largest indoor farm machinery show. So like, and they like, so there's like at Farm Science Review, Dad could have a golf cart. I think we'd have to get him like a scooter or a wheelchair to peruse around. And yeah, I don't think Dad necessarily wanted to do that.
Totally understandable.
But it would be cool one of these years to go one last time for, big hurrah. But yeah, so, and then there were like many moments I was starstruck just by the people in the farming community. One person in particular is Tyne Morgan. She is like the host of a lot of like farm shows, like on the television. Okay. And so since I did a like brand partnership with Kentucky Venues and like the National Farm Machinery Show. So basically they had like 3 or 4 of us. Well, actually they could have had more. I just happened to run into 2 or 3 other people that were doing this. But we got like a little media pass, which means that we could get into the show a half an hour, or probably earlier than that. I just happened to get there half an hour early the one day. And so I was bebopping around the show, talking to all the booth people before anyone came in, which was like lovely. Yeah. I was able to take like videos and pictures of like all the things I wanted to get pictures of without like there being like
100 people,
swarms of people. And like, there's always like a guy that's like leaning over to look at the bottom of a tractor. And it's like, you don't want to make people move. And so like I was doing a mad dash around all of the things to get pictures and stuff, and that was really cool. But so then I got access to the media room, which they had snacks and free bottles of water and pop and coffee and celebrities in there, farm celebrities. And it was mostly just like a lot of people that like the camera guy who like was trying to upload that day's footage and stuff. But I was like leaving the media room to go to my meet and greet, and Tyne Morgan just walks in and she's like, "Hey Zoe, where's your dad?"
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, that's so cool.
That is so
like,
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, Farm with Mickey.
Yeah.
Although honestly, it's like good for his like allure. He's like not easily accessible, you know?
Oh yeah, I know. Like you know, from a brand perspective,
exactly.
It's, you know, we'd have to be like, for the one time Mickey would ever come to Farm Show, you're gonna have to shell out some doll hairs.
Yeah. No, I mean, he is exclusive.
He is. But it was a good time. There were a few moments I fumbled, just like. I did a lot of things, a handful of interviews and stuff. And like after I'd done the meet and greet for 2 hours of talking to people, my brain was like a little fried on conversation having. So there were a few falters.
Yeah.
But overall good. And then I had dinner with my friend Emily, and so her boyfriend, their family Poles. And at the show, they're the only like New Holland tractor in their pro stocks. I'm gonna get the words wrong. In the class that they're in, it's like it's the one blue tractor of the night, and they're in like the very last category, and it's a big deal. And so Emily's boyfriend's dad, he was the one driving the tractor, and he had a GoPro on, and Emily was like so adamant on like make sure he has the GoPro turned.
Because does Emily do like content creation?
Yes,
okay.
yes. So they have a big YouTube page where they like talk about like their pulling tractor and things going on their farm. They have like a very impressive operation they do a lot of different things. But there's been like a couple tractor pulls where he's forgotten to turn the GoPro on, and so that was the main thing of like just make sure he has this GoPro on, because you can't retake that footage. And the footage from like the guy in the tractor, like I've watched some of their videos, is like it's pretty crazy looking.
Yeah.
And so we go to the very end of the track to get like him pulling towards us, and we get there, and we're like crouched over the gates, like we're getting, you know, as close as we can to the action, and he pulls all the way down, and then tractor explodes. And like
that's crazy.
And I've seen that happen before, like just like from a distance, from the stands. It's like you see a little flash of light or whatever. But like I wish so badly. I wish we had a video of me and Emily, because we both have our phones, and then like both of our videos are like, because we're like
But everybody's safe and good.
Yeah, okay. He was safe. Tractor is gonna need a lot of work to it afterwards. It was so basically it's like the top 3 compete again on Saturday. And so for a while he was sitting in 3rd place even with the explosion. And they said they would have gladly, you know, worked on rebuilding it all of Friday and Saturday to get it running. But once he got bumped out of 3rd place, it was like, okay, well, at least we don't have to try to figure this out. And then afterwards they had it outside, and they had the hood up, and I mean, everyone was coming up to this and like looking at it, and you know, there were parts hanging off, and there was a big dent in the hood, and it was. Yeah, I was hoping to see a win. I saw something different, but it was a lot.
It was lit,
and like, I mean, we're talking about like, you know, tens, 20s, you know, $50,000 of damage. Like, we don't know, and they were like, there are some people that would have been very mad, and there were people that like, when they took their helmet off at the end, you could tell that they were not happy with how they did. Like, their tractor exploded, and then there were some like laughs and some like, well, it's pulling, and like I'm very lucky that I was with some folks that had good attitudes about the situation.
Oh yeah, because it definitely could have been really bad.
Yeah. So
wow,
that was my first experience at and this is like the mecca of tractor pulls. This is like the big one. So it's very much giving like when I went to NFR this year and I'd never been to a roadie, and then it's like, oh, you're going to the biggest one they have. So yeah, it was. And so now that I've taken up all of our recording time talking about my weekend.
No, I love it.
What have you been up to?
I've been doing literally nothing. I went to DC. I went to the nicest restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
No. I need to hear the whole.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Mom and she's like, yeah, did you hear about Kenzie's dinner? And I was like, I saw some pics and it looked fancy. And then she's like, oh yeah, it was like a 45 course, blah, blah, blah. She was there for the half of the day.
Yeah. So it's called Pineapple and Pearl in DC. It has 2 Michelin stars. And Eddie's really into fine dining. And we've been to a 3 Michelin star restaurant. We've been to a handful of 2 Michelin star restaurants. And then we've been to a lot of 1 Michelin star restaurant. So I know a little bit about fine dining, although like it's not how I would choose to spend my money, but I'm grateful that I get to be a part of it because it is how Eddie chooses to spend his money. So we show up, you walk in, it looks like a coffee shop. They take your coat for coat check. They give you hot apple cider with bourbon in a teacup, and they take your picture. And quick question. Is it the same every single time you have the meal, or is it like every day they're doing something different? I'm not sure, but I bet the meal changes probably every like 4 to 5 weeks is what I would assume.
Okay, sorry, go on.
That's how
apple cider.
That's how like most of these kind of fine dining restaurants go. So they take your picture with a Polaroid, and then you're led to your table. So you like kind of go behind the coffee shop and you walk by the bar. And then we did chef's table, which means you're seated like at the bar, and so you're watching all of the chefs do their work, and that's like what Eddie likes. And so that's where we always, if we can, we used to try to get a chef's table seat. So we order cocktails. I got a gin drink and he got a gin martini. Both come with a side of caviar. And then they start with these, it's called like a baker's pouch or something. It's a crepe filled with creme fraiche and caviar. And so we started with that. And then it's a 4-course preset. So you get to pick between 2 options. And then we also did the wine pairing. And so with every course, you get a glass of wine.
Like a full glass of wine?
Yeah.
Wow. And like, I know, I'm assuming not like an over poured glass of wine.
Not an over pour.
Standard.
And sometimes, and we've done wine pairings at other restaurants before. And sometimes they're like half glasses, because otherwise you're having like, we went to John George's in New York, and that's a 9-course meal. And we didn't do the wine pairing that night. But if you did the wine pairing, like 9 full glasses of wine would be insane. But these, because it's only 4 courses, were pretty full glasses. My first course was watermelon and tuna, and they were, beautifully presented. Eddie got, I don't even remember what he got. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's about me.
Something else.
And then my second course was a 3-cheese ravioli. And whenever like they come to deliver the food and do the presentation, they always give the backstory. And the backstory of this one is one of the chefs was from Turkey, and when she first moved to U.S., like she ate a ton of Cheez-Its, and Cheez-Its were like her comfort food. And so this ravioli was inspired by Cheez-Its, so they were the exact same size as a Cheez-It and color as a Cheez-It. And it tastes like Cheez-Its.
It's so fun.
And and then we had, see, like, this is where it gets blurry, because like at this point I've had 3 glasses of wine and a gin cocktail. And it's like I don't even remember what I had. And then my final entree, I got the Wagyu steak, which was delicious. And then we got ice cream, but you got up from your seat and you went to an ice cream like machine and you like poured your own ice cream, and then it came with like a spiked coffee, so you had like an affogato situation, and then they finish it with,
and that just means affogato just means ice cream with coffee, right?
yeah, ice cream with espresso on top. It's like a common dessert. Not I didn't mean it like that,
but of course.
And then we finished with some champagne, and I'm probably forgetting other stuff. But
so is yours, like, during this whole time, is your server saying like, hey, this is what's up next? Okay, now you're going to go to the ice cream bar, or is this like just people know what to do?
So you typically, when you have a situation like this, you have 2 or 3 different servers. So like Justin was our wine guy. He was always coming up and telling us about the wine and where it was from and what to expect. And then we have the people that actually deliver the food, and they talk through everything that's on your plate. And then you have just your main server who checks in with you and kind of tells you what's next. But like when you sit down, you get the menu, and so you like kind of see what's happening. And then at the end, they give you these thank you boxes, and they're pretty big. And they say like, don't open these until you get home. Like you'll know when you get there and whatever. And so we took them and we went home, and inside is a Wagyu cheeseburger for a midnight snack. And then your menu, your picture they took of you from the beginning, like the Polaroid, the Matchbox, like all the normal like trinkets of like these restaurants. Yeah. And yeah, it was definitely the best meal and the most expensive meal I've ever had.
Now, with all those courses, were you actually full by the end, or were like, because because I know they're like little servings and stuff.
I know.
Too.
I always think like you won't be full, but honestly, like it's honestly perfect for me because I don't have a huge appetite, so I feel like I get full without like overstuffing myself. Like I went to Italian last night and ate way too much food. Like I didn't eat that much. So so yeah, it was really good.
Okay, and some more questions. Like I'm assuming like you cannot change the menu in any way. Like you can't be like, oh, I don't like onions, but like, do they accommodate for like allergies, or is it pretty much
they
just
do?
Like,
so when you sit down, actually at this restaurant, because it was so nice, they have just a person who's in charge of hospitality, and they make sure everybody's like happy. Like that's literally their only job. They go from table to table to make sure everyone's happy. Before the meal, like 24 hours before, they emailed us a personal email. His name is Cosmo. He's great. And they ask you like allergies and preferences then, but then also when you sit down. And so because we don't have allergies or preferences, I don't really know, but I'm sure that they can kind of make like adjustments. Like if you're allergic to onions, you know. But what's really exciting is they were saying, yes, chef. And like the drunker I got, I was like, yes, chef. I was like getting in the action with them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I haven't watched The Bear, but I know the reference.
I haven't watched The Bear either, but
okay.
I know, yes, chef. And so,
yes. Okay.
And so, I was really getting into it, but yeah, it was fun.
I have more questions. What did you wear? What were people there wearing?
Yeah. So the dress code, they actually don't have one. But they said like dress to impress, dress your best, think New Year's Eve. But as a true New Yorker, I wore a black dress, but it had like a super deep V, so like it felt fun.
Scandalous.
Eddie wore a suit and tie. A lot of people were wearing sequins. Like I should have brought that black dress from home that's full sequins. Like that would have been perfect, but that's in Ohio. So that was, that's pretty much what everyone was wearing. The restaurant was decorated like super adorably, big balloon displays, and it was just like fun. It was super fine dining, but not like hoity-toity. That's the thing with some of these restaurants we go to. Like we'll be the youngest people by like 20 years. And in this,